Hey guys, Steve-O here, out here in this little bee yard. This is about the time of year that I put on these Beetle blasters. I thought I'd show you that. A lot of you guys, this will be all reruns for you, so turn the page or whatever, you know. But yeah, what I've got here, I bought the minis for these little Nooks hives here. These are called the minis. Now they make a larger one. It's about this much, you know, bigger. But all this is a little reservoir all sealed up. There's a little grid here on this. And the bees can't fall in this grid. This grid is too big, or too small rather, for the bees to get through. But the small hive beetle can fall through there, and what happens, they like to go to dark areas. Well, the guy was kind of clever who invented this. I wish I had invented this. He made this black plastic here. Okay, this is clear down here, so you can see your beetles in there, drowned. And what you do is you get you some olive oil, plain old olive oil. All right, and you're going to put just a little olive oil in this thing. Don't need much. That's God's plenty right there. That's it. All right. Yeah, and what you're going to do here is just put them in. I like to put them in toward the back here. You put them right down in like that. Put one in there, and then put another one up toward the front here, so you got covered at both ends. Okay. Very simple install. It's a pain, kind of a pain, but hey, if you're going to be a beekeeper, you want to keep these things going, this is the kind of stuff you got to do. You know, it's like taking your artery cleaner every day. I know what you're saying. Oh, Steve, you got me on artery cleaners. Now you got me on beetle traps. I know. It's the way it is in nature. You got to keep going. So yeah, this little guy here, I don't know. They're not setting the world on fire. Of course, there's not a lot coming in right now. We're fixing to get a swamp cabbage bloom. That's the sable palm. Us old crackers call it swamp cabbage. Now they may do something with that, and as much moisture as we've had, normally the amount of moisture, you know, rain that's coming in will determine the amount of nectar flow you get. So that's that. Put that back on. There must be a little source coming in, but I don't know. They don't seem to be slamming much nectar up in this thing, because I put sugar water on these yesterday just for the heck of it, and it don't look like they're even hitting it hardly. Don't seem like they're even trying to hit it. Matter of fact, here's the bottle. I mean, they didn't take nothing out of it. Okay. So we'll put this one back together, go on to the next one. I got the 4 hives at the yard back at base camp. I've got to do the same thing to those. And get those guys tuned up. Can you imagine doing this to 5,000 colonies? Yeah. Them boys do it now. There's not a whole lot of activity going on here either. Let's dig in this thing and see what's happened. Maybe this box is dead. I don't know. We ain't setting the world on fire upstairs, that's for sure. Yeah, a few bees in it. few little girls in it. Maybe they'll fatten this up before long. We get quite a bit of rain here last few days, which is wonderful. I mean, man, we've been through, here in Florida, we've been through one heck of a drought. Get out of there, girl. Get out from under that trap. What's the matter with you? There you go. Yeah, we've been having some serious drought issues here. But looks like we're in the rainy season now, so I guess next thing we're going to be looking at is hurricanes down the pike, you know. That's what us Floridians have to look for every year. I think they said there was going to be 3 major ones this year. So that'll be interesting. So now, see, I got one at each end. And what happens, these little booger beetles, I don't see any here today. I did the other day, that's why I'm doing this. They may have run them out of the hive. But they'll chase them around, these bees. They chase them right over here. And these beetles think they're getting away, and they shoot right in that little slot. And then they take a swim in olive oil. When that olive oil hits them, they can't swim through it, and they just go ahead and drown right there. So now I don't want to hear any of you guys out there crying and whining, and I'm drowning little beetles. You know, we never had these pests in the 60s. None. No, none of this nonsense. We didn't have none of these. We didn't have varroa mites, we didn't have tracheals, and we didn't have hive beetles. This stuff all came out of African, South American stuff. Yeah. So, it's just something you gotta, you know, deal with. See, we had rain here. See, this hive right here now is kicking a little bit. This hive right here's got a few bees in it. And this is one of the hives right here that I found that was queenless. I mean, if you remember, this one and this one on our last stop didn't have queens, so I put eggs in here on both of these. I am not going to go into this hive at all. There's no need fooling around in here because you're able to I'm able to have a virgin queen in here. I don't want to bump her, scare her, or anything. And I think it'll be the 26th of this month. It was the last time I checked. These guys, all of these, was May 26th, as you recall. And so, June 26th, we'll get into these guys and reevaluate this situation to see how we're doing. Okay? Yeah, you don't need much. That's all you need. Plain old olive oil. You could use any vegetable oil. You don't have to use... I just grabbed Mommy's high dollar olive oil, all I did. You can have the cheap stuff. You don't need this. Yeah, you don't need the high dollar stuff. Yeah. So they're propolis, putting propolis on here. I get over that other yard. I want to see how that propolis trap's doing. Maybe when I'm back over there, fire the camera up, y'all can see that. And we'll see if we're making any headway on that propolis trap. That ought to be interesting. I haven't trapped propolis in years, so... yeah, I want to get the propolis going. That has got some unbelievable cancer killing properties to it. I'll tell you, that's just one more of nature's tricks, I'm telling you. Really cool. Yep. See, right here's one of them bull ants. Right there. See that sucker? That is a bull ant. Now he got up here, and when I got here to this yard, this stuff was, it's been a dust bowl here. Okay? This whole place has been a dust bowl, and this stuff was covered with dust, and they were bridging. Okay? There is a hive beetle right there. See that guy right there? That little guy right there is our menace. Okay? And they do fly. He's not going to fly no more, because I just smashed his little butt. But this guy right here is a real problem child. Now, they won't take a hive out until it gets real weak. Once it gets weak, this hive, they can sense death. These hive beetles can sense death, and they will come in here and set up camp. If this hive is starting to shut down, okay, it's starting to die, they will come in and start laying eggs. And then they will come in when the larva hatches. It's like a fly maggot. It's a little bit smaller, and they'll just start swimming through your stuff, pooping as they go, and they're eating the pollen, and they're eating the pupa skins of the bees. They love that. Now, it's a nice laid back hive right here. We got a queen in this thing right here, I'm telling you. We got a queen back in here. That's cool. Now, the bees, as you know, are very hygienic. They can't take that nasty little hive beetle crapping through this stuff, so they abscond. They just leave. And I think a lot of that, where this colony collapse disorder, a lot of that, that's where it's coming from, okay? I may be wrong, but I think that is what's contributing to this, that varroa and tracheal. All right. So now we got our 2 little traps in there. Nice. Okay, we won't disturb these girls no more. Put this thing back together. And I got other chores to do today. I got to go get some more wood chips at the reclaim center down there. Get the free wood chips. That's going on the garden. So I got a lot of irons in the fire today. But when I get that done, chips loaded, back over, them off, we're going to get back and we'll resuit up and get into them other hives over at base camp. And we'll look them over and install Beetle blasters on those also. See you in a bit. Hey guys, I'm back over here at this other yard, getting these back here at base camp, getting these guys in, and what we're going to do here is go down through here and check these guys out. That end one, you know, down here we put on that propolis trap. We put on that propolis trap here. Let's see how that's doing here shortly. There's not a whole lot of nectar coming in here right now, I can tell you that, because they haven't even, I gave them elbow room, as you remember, on that last visit here, and they haven't done nothing in this top box. But the bottoms are pretty full, and so see, they'll be moving up into this stuff here. See, they haven't even started on this strip yet. That's fine. At least it's on there, and they will be on it soon. They are drinking the liquid. I put syrup on these the other day, and they sucked this bottle dry. But this cost of this sugar's getting a little pricey, so we're gonna wean these puppies a little bit, you know. get into this hive here and see what's going on. A lot of bees up the top of this one. Oh yeah. Yeah, this hive here. See what's down in here. See what these little baby girls are making for us here. Oh yeah, mama's all the way up top here. This is all brood in here. She's slamming this thing with eggs. I mean slamming it. Slappy slamming. That's good. Tell you what we're going to do with this hive. We're going to put this. I'm going to put these beetle traps right up top here. Now, next week, I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing with oxalic acid. We're going to come in here and vaporize. I vaporize, okay, and this is not for commercial operation, obviously, because it takes 12 minutes per hive to do this. I've got to go down and I've got to put a board underneath, because this is screen under here. I've got to put a board underneath, seal that bottom off, and we're going to go through that next week, and you'll see that. I think I'll just name the show Vaporizing with Oxalic Acid, and then you can see how that's done. I mean, like I say, it's not for commercial operation. If you get into bees heavy, you can do oxalic acid, and it's quite a good trick. But you use a big commercial rig, and it only takes. You don't block the bottom off. I've got a little 12-volt deal that I use, so it's for the hobbyist. Okay, it's not for a commercial man. All right. So, yeah, that tool will run you about $2 grand. So you're not going to get into that unless you're, you know, big time commercial guy. All right. So that's done on that one. Let's move down to this guy. See what we got. By the way, I had to also come over here and re-tangle foot this, all three stands, because I was getting some bridging with dust. So you want to watch that. The majority of these hives all here can take care of themselves pretty much, but you get a weak colony and they'll be overrun. They'll be overrun and you will lose your colony. I'll put this beetle blasters here, down below on this one here. So it's not a hard job, but it's, you know. And now, they call these disposable. You can reuse these. Don't throw them away. Once they get full of beetles and stuff, you can reuse these. All you do, get some warm water. Don't get it real hot. You don't want to warp the heck out of these things. Take some good warm water and put some Dawn detergent in it, and in a bowl, and just drop these in with the beetles in, and just jerk them back and forth, and rinse them out. and then rinse them well with water, warm water, and then you can let them dry and then reuse them. No need to throw these away. You could use these for years. The only thing I think is going to eat these up is UV rays, and they're not in UV rays, so you can reuse these puppies. All right, let's go into this guy over here. This hive's the one, like I told you before, it's been really mean. I don't know why, unless an African queen moved in here, because the original queen, this hive I got off of a golf course, and they were really laid back bees. And then I set them up here in this swamp, and then the next thing I know, about a month later, I got some very mean bees. All right, I'm seeing some African high beetles in here, and we're starting to get some propolis, which is a good thing. Yeah, we're starting to get propolis. See, this gooey stuff here, and it's coming in. They're starting to fill in, but it's nowhere near ready to harvest. Okay, so we're going to put that right back in place there, and I'm going to put these beetle traps right here. Okay, pretty much it. We got 2 sticks there. I'll move this over where it lines up. They're starting to fill it in. You can see this is really getting. They don't like that daylight coming in there at all. I'm going to put a couple of sticks here underneath this. That lift that up a little bit, okay? A couple of small sticks. Just like so. They haven't moved up in this super either. But I got quite a bit of honey below. Actually, I could rob some more honeycomb out of this. And I may do it. Yeah. They got a little bit they're starting on up here. No, not much. Not much at all up here. It's just combs, leftover combs that I threw up here. So yeah, that's it. And I'm going to button this hive back up, guys. And I will see you probably next week. They're bringing in a lot of pollen here. I'm seeing them bringing in quite a bit of pollen. That's a good sign. But probably won't. I got a lot of irons in the fire. I probably won't do another show until next week. We'll get in here and we will vaporize, oxalic acid vaporize all these hives. Now on that deal, you got to do it once a week for 3 weeks. It's a pain. I got to put a board under here, seal that off because there's a screen under there, and there's a hole in the back. Like I showed you in the back, in between here. Okay, the screen is right there. I'm going to shove that oxalic acid vaporizer in there, which is 12 volt. I got a lug of car battery over here. And then I will shove a t-shirt in this thing. And then when I see the gas coming out the top of this feeder hole, then I plug that back up, okay? And then I unplug my gator clips off my battery, and then I look at a timer. I usually set a stopwatch, 12 minutes. So then you got to sit there and twiddle your thumbs for 12 minutes while this thing is vaporizing. And then at that time, all these mites are jumping off of these bees. They're dying, okay? Then when they fall through down to that screen down there, then when they pull that board out, they drop straight to the ground. They're toast. That's what we want. Toasted critters. And it also toasts the African hive beetles too. I've seen them hive beetles just in a dying cockroach position, you know, as soon as I pull that board off. So, alrighty, that's the show for now, and I'll catch you guys, gals, later. As always, appreciate it. Other people want to get in bees and stuff, tell them about my channel, tune them up, and try to help you. This is not commercial beekeeping. This is just hobby type beekeeping. But this is where you start, and then from there, if you want to get into it, you can go from there, okay? And I've done it all, so try to help you. All right, as always, be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.